Good morning. Tom Beal here on a morning walk, way earlier than normal. Normally it's between 6 and 7 that I begin my morning walk, but this morning I woke up super early and began my walk before 4 a.m. And I'm continuing on a topic called Zero Expectations, Part 2. I discussed Part 1 in an email that I send to my email list for the people who are inside my iOS and Android app. You can go to youarenotdeadyet.com and register for my app and the daily email. So basically, why zero expectations? There's a weird dynamic that occurs when you become self-actualized. You become someone who doesn't give a crap about trying to please others, trying to convince others, trying to, be something different than who you are. There's a magic that comes, by being grounded. I have a term for it called I am me, F you. I am me, F you. The F you isn't what a lot of people think. It is fully and unapologetically. When you're able to be you fully and unapologetically, you're grounded. You're thinking, you're speaking, you're acting in accordance with your big goals, dreams, visions, desired outcomes. You have a clear idea of where you are and where you're looking to go, and recognize that it all requires you to harness and capture your focus to stay intently focused on those desired outcomes in your thoughts, words, and actions with continuous one step after the next type of progress. And when you do that, you are tapping into the power of being in the present moment, and you're detached from outcomes. It doesn't mean that you don't have that end in mind. It means that you are clear on, kind of like a map. Here's where I am, here's where I want to go, and you're taking one step after the next. And as long as you stick to the path, you're going to get there. You're committed to getting there. You're not going to get halfway there and then get discouraged and turn around and head back. You're committed to finish the journey. Even when you're on the map, you're on the path, GPS or the old school map, and the road is under construction and stopped. Oh crap, I can't go this way. I have to backtrack and figure out another way to get there. You're not going to give up and throw your hands in the air and say, well, I guess I wasn't supposed to make it to that destination. No. You figure out a new route. In the Marine Corps, it was 3 words that if this was all that I got from my Marine Corps boot camp experience, it was worth it. Plans never go to plan, so you have to use these 3 words: improvise, adapt, and overcome. And as long as you're clear on where you are and where you're going, you'll always be able to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And that's detaching from the outcome of sticking to the plan. A lot of people over plan and, I'm going to take 20 steps here, turn left, 40 steps and turn right. And dang it, I'm going to do that no matter what happens. And they're so hard-headed and they're so unable to modify accordingly to the new information that they don't improvise, adapt, and overcome. That's what it means by detaching from the outcome. When you embrace the philosophy of I am me, F you, fully and unapologetically, and you're clear on where you are and where you're going in your health, your relationships, and your finances, you are continually in the present moment discerning the powerful question of what's mine to do right now. What's mine to do right now? Continuously. And then when you finish that, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? One after the next. You just continue to be in the present moment. You flex and strengthen your discernment of answering that most powerful question of what's next? What's mine to do now? Out of all the millions of things I could choose to do, what's mine to do now? And I will interject that back in my workaholic mode, I used to think that had to be a revenue producing activity. So if I was working out, if I was on a morning walk, if I was spending time with my kids or significant other, I was internally beating myself up thinking I should be doing a revenue producing activity. And that's crap. No, it's everything. You are the control center of your life. And it's up to you to discern between your health, relationships, and finances the answer to what's mine to do now. It definitely is not always meant to be a revenue-producing activity. Matter of fact, you have to, in many times, what's mine to do right now? Close the laptop off, shut the computer off, and go for a walk. Or go out with your significant other. Go out with your kids. Take time for yourself. You need to have the discernment and the strength to know, as the operator and owner of the most amazing trillion-dollar vehicle in the universe, your body, what's the next step for you to take in your health, your relationships, your finances. All combined, you have to juggle those and determine what's yours to do. And when you do that, you begin to recognize that you, being that you subscribe to I am me, F you, fully and unapologetically, A, you wouldn't cross paths with me if you weren't on the proper energetic path, meaning you're doing things ethically and honestly. You are at the point where you're recognizing enough of the bullshit activities, enough of the escapism, enough of the drugs, the alcohol, the other things that are detracting you from getting to where you know you deserve to be in your health, your relationships, and finances. You've come through that, and you're like, all right, now it's time to get my shit together, and you're on the right path. And then you can embrace the I am me, F you philosophy, fully and unapologetically. And you detach from the outcomes because you just know that you're going to get there, because you're committed to doing whatever it takes for as long as it takes, ethically and honestly, one step, one day at a time. It's just a matter of time that you're going to get there. You're detached from the outcome. You're not worried about it. Just like you wouldn't be worried about getting in your car and setting the GPS, like, here's where I am, here's where I want to go. You're committed to taking the turns. You're committed to going the distance. Same thing in life. So you detach from the outcomes and you just focus on the only thing you have control over. The only point of power that you have is in this present moment. And in this present moment, you man up, and that's for women too, men and women, you man up and discern of all the things you could do, this is what's mine to do right now. And when you do that, you're only focused in the present. You aren't worried about the outcome. You're only, not even worried, you're only taking care of what's yours to do in this present moment. And when you get so good at this and competent at this, you trust your discernment. You know that you're a kick-ass problem solver. You know you're not going to be on path all the time, but you're going to wake up out of that fog of being off path and say, crap, I'm off path. I got to get back on path. And you get back on path. You don't beat yourself up for getting off path, and you keep walking. One step, one day at a time, you will reach the destination. But first, you got to be clear on where the heck you're going, right? And it sounds so simple, but so many people, as Napoleon Hill talks about in his book, Outwitting the Devil, so many people are just drifting through life, meaning they don't have a clear idea of where they're even heading. Life is blowing them around, and they're leading a life of a lack of intention, lack of direction. And when you have that clarity, when you have that groundedness, and you recognize and truthfully come to understand, it's time for me to identify where I am and where I want to go, personally and professionally, in my health, in my relationships, in my finances. When you gain that clarity, you can now detach from the outcome, because it's just a matter, okay, now I know where I'm going. Now it's just a matter of doing the easy stuff, taking the steps. So this also turns back to, the whole adage of building a house. Oh, that step tripped me up there. Building a house. For those who have ever built a house, or if you have or haven't, the process is this. You don't just show up with wood and bricks and a team of people and okay, start building. That would be a mess. It wouldn't work out. What you do first is get clear on, okay, what do we want to build? We need to bring in an architect who we can share this vision to, who can draft it out on paper, and you modify it and you iterate it and you fine tune it. And then once the architect and you have come to agreement, that's it, that's what we want to build, it's done. It's done. The easy part is getting the team together and getting the tools and the resources together to build it. The difficulty is getting clear on what you want to build, architecting that, putting it on in a clear fashion. Here's exactly what we're looking to build. The building part's easy. You've already built it. Once the designs are done, it's built. The simple part is getting the materials. Well, not so much today with the breakdown in getting materials and all that fun stuff with all the weirdness happening in the last few years. But once that architect has created the design and you, as the visionary, have approved it and iterated it and made it clear, the easy part is getting it built. It's built once the plans are done. Same thing happens with your health, your relationships, your finances. You first need to architect what is that desired outcome. And then, how foolish would it be to be worried about and attached to the outcome when the architect has already designed it? Sure, you're going to cross your T's and dot your I's and inspect what you expect with the team to make sure they're doing it properly, but you hire the proper people, you hire the manager of that to make sure everybody's not cutting corners and doing what needs to be done, but you aren't worried about it. You aren't attached to the outcome. It's already done. You're just excited about the progress. Like, think back, like that's how this works. So similarly, in your health, in your relationships, in your finances, architect that future vision of you 5 years from now. If that's the wall right there, everything from multi-billionaire to millionaire to six figures to broke to dead, those are all the future possibilities of you. It's up to you to identify which one is that best version of you down the road, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, and send that clarity, that intention to that version of you, that best version of you. And then have a conversation with that best version comes back to you from 20 years in the future and has a conversation with you. Look, man, you set some big, lofty goals. It's going to be a crazy journey. There's going to be lots of great things that happen. There's going to be lots of terrible things that happen. But you persevere. You have the determination, the commitment, the desire, the willingness to follow through with what's yours to do consistently to get here. Don't be deterred. Don't be thrown off track. Don't be discouraged. Be excited about what's to come and recognize every thought, word, and action that you speak today, now, varies on where this end version of you goes, either higher or lower. Please, for your future's sake, ensure that you clearly control what is within your control, your thoughts, your words, your actions, which in turn help you control your emotions, so that you don't degrade that future version of you, so that you are able to be where I am and hopefully even better. It's up to you in this moment to make that choice, to become that visionary who is able to distill to the architect the vision that you have. And you are the architect, you are the builder, you are the designer. You're the producer, the director, and the starring actor in your movie. What plot twist are you ready for? What plot twist are you know what? I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of playing half-ass. I'm going to step up and show myself who the fuck I am and what I'm fucking capable of. Do it. That future version of you will thank you. Hope this inspires you. Detach from the outcomes and focus on what's within your control. This was a little roadmap to help you get from where you are to where you want to be, quickly, efficiently, effectively. Hope this was helpful. Look forward to chatting with you soon. I see a comment here. Let's see. David D. Money Trinidad, The Richest Man in Babylon. Yes, sir. Awesome book. Awesome training. Huge amounts of knowledge, insight, and wisdom in there. All right. I'll chat with you soon. Make today great. Bye for now.